Brian Soscia reporting live.
It's great. Shit conditions. My back hurts from shoveling. It's shit. Everywhere. Not just here. It's cold. And it's white, but it should be brown because it's shit. What do you think, Evan?
Friday night, February 2nd, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is finally back in Hollywood, Florida, at Hard Rock Live inside the seminal Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. In the main event, a world title is on the line when the undefeated champ, Luis Baboon Palomino, knuckles up with former pro boxing world champion, Austin No Doubt Trout. In the co-main event, it's a clash of the undefeated warriors when Bryce Henry fights Robbie Peralta. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
You heard it first. Shit conditions here today. In the studio, it's kind of shit conditions every day, isn't it, guys?
Every day.
Every time we're in here. Yeah, I was slipping and sliding getting out of my car, and Evan happened to be there, and he thought it'd be good to film that. Rather than help me, I could have fallen. He would have filmed me falling laying on the ground. I appreciate you being here today, wherever you're celebrating the day, wherever you're celebrating this beautiful Tuesday. It's probably cold. There's probably a lot of snow. That's what most of us are dealing with. But we do have good news, a lot of stuff to get to today, as always, live from Satellite 5 with a popular BKFC vet, Noah Cutter. He's going to join us ahead of his fight with Donald Sanchez. That's coming up January 27th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Looking forward to talking to him. A lot of stuff. I mean, we could go through it all. I know we're going to talk about Jenny Savage. She seems to get more aggressive in her public disdain for Taylor Starling. It's another fight coming up for the Prospect Series. We're going to get into it all. I mean, there's a long list here. I don't feel like going through all of it, but I can tell you, Mark Hunt, the Super Samoan, people talking about him. We'll talk a little bit about that. And tryouts, everything is going on. All of it's here. The first thing I want to get to is we announced this last week, and I'm excited to do it again this week. I guess we'll have to get a camera shot of the production room there. Successful Brandon. Now we have a sound effect for him, too. So now he's been 14 days.
He's trying to find it.
There it is.
Which one is it? Ta-da?
Yeah. There you go.
Successful Brandon. There he is. So we have that, and now he's up to 14 days for Successful Brandon. There you go. That's 14 days without an accident. We're very proud of him. I just want to, everybody in the chat, hit that love button wherever you're watching for Successful Brandon.
They hate me, dude. They're probably in there right now being like, oh, fucking unsuccessful Brandon.
Now, they want to see you mess up, but I don't think you're going to. I have faith in you. You're doing really well. You drove in very safe today. The roads were a mess. You didn't mess up there, thank God.
Oh, I didn't tell you this earlier, but when I got here, I parked. You know how the driveways or the parking lots, like they're sloped spots, stuff like this.
Yeah.
I put my truck in one spot. And I was about to get out. My truck started sliding down. I was like, did I put it in park? I was like, it is in park. I'm fucking sliding.
They made you. That's what happened to me. Evan,
That would have been a disaster.
When I got out of my car, I started sliding.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
guys never drove in snow before?
No, my feet
You park
slid.
on a fucking hill when the entire parking lot's iced over. You
Evan
forget to
said-
turn your brain on?
No, I
Yes.
couldn't stand up. I needed help. All right, so like I said, a lot of stuff to get into today. We're excited about it. We're excited that he's successful. He's going to continue his success in the new year. Let's go to, let's check in what you've sent us. That's mail call. I tried to not say mail call so we wouldn't have the same sound effect.
It's time for mail call.
You have to say mail call.
Well, I didn't want to say it because I said it's time for mail call, and he says it. That's why I said let's check your messages. We'll get it right. We're getting there. We're getting there. That wasn't a Brandon mess up. It was a nobody mess up. We're very excited. I see a lot of people excited to be here in the chats. We love that. We love when you share stuff with us. You can always send it into the bareknuckleshow@gmail.com. That's the best place to get a hold of us because we all check it, but it gets in other places too. The main thing is you guys keep inspiring us for our graphics back here. This comes from Brett in Edmonton, where we're going to be. And Brett in Edmonton says that he thought it'd be funny to show me falling out of the airplane because, I mean, if you don't know what happened, here's the news thing so you know what inspired us to do this. Everyone's so calm.
I didn't even know we took off, honestly. And then, yeah, I'm sleeping and I just feel the plane drop. And it wasn't like any.
So we know what happened
just
there.
because the
We
mask,
saw
like,
it. We saw it open. Cut her off. I don't need to hear her yak, but basically, yeah, that's what happened. The door's open. It's. Oh man, I think I yanked my mic out. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys? No, I yanked my headphones
hear
out.
you.
They threw a snowball at me. Sons of bitches.
Who was that?
Hold on. My stuff's all out now. I need help. Somebody's got to plug me back in.
Plug it into
On the slide.
plug it into the multi thing.
Radio
snow
guy.
everywhere.
Can't even
Yeah,
plug in his
fools.
headset.
You don't know audio gear?
All right, I can't hear anything because my thing's not plugged in. I can't get access.
no, go do
Somebody
it.
please help. I'm going
Jesus
to continue
Christ.
the show as I wipe this snow all off. You guys are idiots. Where was I? So that's what inspired the graphic. Jerk offs. That's what inspired the graphic. I love that you guys are getting involved with everything in the show, including coming up with the graphics. I didn't even see who threw that at me, but you know what? I love it. Good job. Let's move on in a second here. From the graphic, I want to thank Brett. Actually, Brett from Edmonton. We're going to send you a T-shirt, maybe a hat, and we'll let Lido punch you in the face. I know you'll like that. Everyone's getting hit by Chris Lights Out Lido. So that's what happened for the graphic. I'm all out of sorts now. More mailbag stuff. Dustin in West Monroe. We've been there, Louisiana. He sent this in. He said, since we haven't had a fight in a while, I wanted to do a bucked up knockout of the night or knockout of the day. Let's see what he sent in. Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a cup of tea.
Oh, my God. What the hell's he doing?
Right there. You can see it. Put your mouse over it.
What?
That's a tooth. That's something.
Oh, yeah, it's good eye, Evan. Oh, man, he smashed. That's knockout of the year. Holy shit. What was he doing? Why would he even be doing that? Trying to scale the wall? Anyway, I guess thanks for sending that in. Good eye, Evan. I didn't see the tooth. That's usually only at BKFC events you see tooth fly out like that.
Yeah, I've got an eye for it.
You sure do after doing all that for years. Thank you, Dustin in West Monroe. That was a great knockout. I love that. Also, this is interesting. So there's a gigantic radio show in Philadelphia called Preston and Steve. Every market has them. Even if if you don't listen to the radio anymore, you still know who they are in this area. I thought this was pretty cool. They were interviewing David Spade via phone, and they had this on their social media. I believe that's Steve from the Preston and Steve show in Philadelphia with a bare knuckle hoodie on, sweatshirt, whatever you call it, pullover. So thank you, Steve, for supporting the product. We appreciate that. I think that's super cool. That was sent in by, I don't know, somebody, maybe from the Preston and Steve show. And then also, this is a good one. So this is from the Gator wrestler. He tugged me in this. This is crazy. This girl is wearing bare knuckle stuff. She's a fan, obviously, from Wisconsin. But what's in her lap? Do you see that, Evan? Do you know what that is in her lap?
I think it's a skunk. Yeah, it's a skunk.
She's got a skunk in her lap in her house while she's doing homework.
Skunks are cute.
Yeah, but would you have one in your house?
You can get the, I forget what it's called, the sprayer thing taken out, though.
The sprayer
it's like
thing.
when you neuter it.
All right. Well, I don't know. I guess they're cute, but I wouldn't want one in my house. But kudos to her doing homework.
There's jokes to be made.
Yeah, BKFC shirt. I'm going to make a very, I'll make a joke.
Go ahead.
I'm going to make a very cordial, nice joke, not like the ones you're thinking of. I believe that proves, as a college student, I believe she is doing her homework with her skunk in a BKFC shirt. That just proves that homework stinks. Oh, shit! I tried to clean up the joke you were going to make.
That was the wrong. I'm on the wrong sound bank.
No, that was still good, though.
No, it's supposed to be this one.
That's him. That's successful Brandon. What are we
That's for your
doing?
funny joke.
Oh, we have to come up with a better funny joke one. Like tumbleweeds. We'll have like whoosh, trying to make a dumb joke. All right, we're waiting for Noah Cutter. But before we do that, this is important. I want to get this. I love this guy. Jared Captain Deadpool Warren. Congratulations to him. I see he was promoted to a driver engineer. That must mean he drives and he's some type of engineer. I don't know what that is because I've never been a firefighter. I don't know much about it, but I think that's huge. Congratulations to Jared Warren. We love what you're doing. Thank you for supporting your community. That's a big congratulations for my man, Jared Warren. He's one of the nicest guys here. He just wants to help people. So we love that, and we can't wait to see him in his next fight busting somebody's face open again. Let's move on to Jimmy in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. All right, we're going to Albuquerque. This comes from Rio Rancho, which is right there. He said, he said, this video made me feel like a piece of shit, but it also motivated me. Check this guy out. He's 78 years old. His name's Frank, and he's hitting a bag. He's a boxer. This is it makes him feel like shit. Let's say what makes him feel like shit.
This man is 78 years old and he will still beat you in a fight. This is Frank, and he is in better shape than most 30-year-olds, and he spends most of his time teaching boxing classes and even posts them to his followers for everyone to see for free. He is a huge inspiration, and we can all hope to be in this kind of shape at his age.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, that was insane. I wouldn't fight him. Does he work for BKFC? I wouldn't. I mean, Evan, can you imagine? Are you in better shape than that guy? Will you be in good shape like that? I know you're in great shape.
Fight shape. I'm
78
definitely not in fight shape. No.
78 years old to hit like that. That was incredible. I understand why you feel like shit now. I would too. I do after watching that. Okay, this is another good one. Speaking of punching, I like this one. I saw this one was sent in. Here's Johnny. It's Loco Soto punching through walls like that famous movie.
Come on.
I just stare until we go to the clip.
Ready? Try again. Ready?
Yeah.
Here's Johnny.
That's a great movie. The Shining, baby. Now, I think he must be demolishing walls, at his new gym because I saw him doing that. I saw him doing other stuff too where he was just smashing through walls, which is always fun. Did you ever take down a wall at your house, either one of you guys?
Yeah.
You guys are so, you're probably lame. You can't have fun. Like I threw myself through a wall. You wouldn't do that, would you, Brandon?
No.
No, Brandon says no. He's trying to get something set up. All right, and then
Leave us alone.
I know he's trying to get the guest on probably. All right, then we have Phil. Phil from Washington D.C. says, "Hey, Soch, I just wanted to say, New Year, new me." You're a jerk off for saying that. I'm just going to let you know that. And I know why you said that because I was making fun of people that say that. But that's good. Good paying attention to the show. Anyway, we should be featuring more of the ladies. Now you're trying to gas me up because we've had the ladies on the last couple of weeks. It's not going to work, Phil. You're a jerk off. And let's see. Okay. Anyway, he's going to keep us up to date in the ladies, he says. And he says, this is what Beck Rawlings has been up to. Looks like he sent a couple of videos. And let's see what Beck's up to. I don't know what that is.
That's very good.
What? Well, I mean,
No
she's
sound.
not yet. We can't put sound here. I think there must be music on there or something. Well, there you go. Beck's not trying to make weight, obviously. That's a lot in her mouth. Could you hold on for a minute? Yeah, let's get out of this one. Do you think that's attractive, though, either one of you guys? Like, she probably posted that to look funny and goofy, but attractive. Yeah. Is that attractive to you guys?
I like a girl who can eat.
Just put her head back and just put it down. All right. All right. There you go, Beck. Good job. Let's see. Oh, here's the other one. What is this?
Just a
Pretty self-explanatory.
He's playing the bongos.
You know what that is.
What? What's good? You know what that reminds me of? Did you guys ever see the video? I think I saw it on YouTube. It was that stupid wedding DJ, and he's doing like the Congo. And I love how you're leaving this up. It's great. And did you ever see that? And then he Congos on the lady's boobs to "In the Air Tonight" from Phil Collins. Don't. You ever see that? It was viral.
Nope.
You've never seen that video?
Nope.
Someone saved me in the chat. You had to see the video of that stupid wedding DJ where the bump comes. And he hits her fat and her boobs. He plays. Look it up on YouTube. It's up there. You can check it out. Let's see what else we have. This is good. BKFC Sanchez prospects video. We're gonna get ready to talk to Noah Cutter in a couple minutes. Is he in yet, guys?
Yeah, he's not turning his camera on.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know if he's naked.
Well, hey, then you should turn it on. Let the world see what's going on there. I'll cover my eyes. I'm not going to look.
There we go.
All right, Noah Cutter's getting ready to come on. But before he comes on, I want to show the video that the Prospect Series put together about his opponent, Donald Sanchez, and kind of where his head's at. I think it's pretty interesting.
Donald Sanchez, BKFC fighter out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. I got involved in the combat sports world very early, and unfortunately, I only used it as a sport. That's what drew me into BKFC, and it brought the dog out of me. So now I'm in camp for reasons, not to just go through the flow. January 27th, out here in my hometown, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Everybody knows I put on a show, so I hope you're ready, Noah, because I'm coming. I promise you. Keep on talking. I hope you bring it like you say you're going to, because I'm coming. What's up, everybody?
All right, there you go. Keep on talking, he says. And I think he's in the virtual green room, so he's probably ready to talk now. I don't need these notes. These are done with for the day. So let's get our buddy Noah Cutter in here. This guy's been... Hey, Noah, how are you?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Man, it's good to talk to you. You've been here forever in BKFC. I'm glad you had time to come on today. Got a big main event coming up. We're looking forward to that. A lot of stuff to get into today. But first, I mean, I say it all the time. You're one of the most exciting fighters in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That's why I was glad when I saw your name coming on today. You've been with us for such a long time. We know it's never a boring fight when you're in there, ever. I mean, you leave it all in there. It's never even a question. So this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is your 10th BKFC fight coming up. That's big news, man. That's huge. Not many people have done that.
Yep.
What
10 fights in 3 years.
That's crazy. What does it take to get there? I mean, that's a lot of fights. It's not like you're just doing MMA or you're doing a glove, but you're doing bare knuckle fighting. That's a lot of fights. I mean, the trials and tribulations through that. I mean, that's got to be a lot in 3 years.
Yeah, it's been rough, especially since, every time I fight, whether I win or lose, I'm usually pretty banged up and cut up. So I got to take some time off. Last year, I only got to fight 2 times. But, yeah, I think to get to that level, you got to have a certain amount, especially after losses. You got to be willing to come back in there and learn from your losses and put it all on the line. And I think that, we're talking about it, but also like only usually top 5 or the champions in the organization have this many fights. So I'm pretty happy with the amount of fights that I've had.
Yeah, we're happy too because we love seeing in there. And, you talk about some losses and, everyone's going to get them at some point, have those. You've had a couple of them, and this seems to be a fight where you need to make a statement, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm just curious, your last loss, most recent, Dakota Cochran. Talk about that fight. You talk about learning from your losses, which I 100% agree with. What did you learn from that fight?
Yeah, just a couple of things, man. I have to be a lot more cautious with these big, powerful middleweights like this and walking forward. That fight in particular, I made a mistake where I got hurt and then I marched forward and I switched my stance and did something that I wouldn't normally probably do against that opponent. I've done it before in the past, and it's worked for me against taller fighters where I step, cross, and then switch into southpaw and then keep fighting from there. But I think against shorter fighters, it's a little more difficult. And I also think that with all the fights that I've done, that people are watching all those old videos and seeing some of my technique, kind of more of the karate style blitzing technique. So I think people are trying to catch on to it a little bit more and see the holes in my game. So I'm just trying to fix those.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that too. If I can remember, if I shut my eyes and think, I think that your opponent Sanchez is 1-1, and like that's 2 fights in bare knuckle fighting championship, as opposed to you're coming up on your 10th one here. You've had a lot more mileage in the squared circle. You've had more time to learn, but they've had more time to figure you out, like you're saying. So that seems like that enters your mind. But do you think that your experience, even with 10 fights over 2 fights, some guys will say a fight's a fight. It doesn't matter. This guy's, I've done other combat sports. Bare knuckle, in my estimation, completely different than anything else. So do you feel that way? Do you feel that your experience is going to pay off or it just doesn't matter?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely helps. He's got a lot of combat sports experience. I think he's got over 50 pro fights outside of bare knuckle in MMA and boxing and stuff like that. But this isn't MMA or boxing or kickboxing or karate or anything. It's a completely different thing. So obviously the more experience you have in the sport, the better and better you'll get.
So let's talk about we talked about trials and tribulations a little earlier. I remember one time, we were talking about this the other day. I remember one time I was at an airport and you're there and you're like just delighted to see somebody, like a smiling face that you knew. You travel to get places. People don't often think that. As a fighter, you're going there to fight, but the job starts with the traveling, and then you're being delayed and you're being kicked to other airports. I think that day you'd done like a 10-hour or more travel day. Talk about that. That's got to be a pain in the ass of the job. Do you enjoy the travel? Because for me, I don't even fight. That's my least favorite part of the job, getting on a plane and having to go places like that and get delayed and stuff.
Yeah, well, getting delayed is never fun. I think when I seen you that time, I can't remember if I was fighting Carlos Trinidad in Nebraska or if I was fighting in Kansas, but for some reason that particular day my flight got delayed, and then I got sent like to another complete different state that I wasn't supposed to be in. Yeah. And I went from arriving at like I think I was going to get there at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon to getting there at like 10 o'clock at night, the night before weigh-in. So I went from getting there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and having all that time to cut weight in the evening into the next day to make weight, to getting there at 10:30 at night and like going to my room, throwing all my shit down, taking some pre-workout, and then starting to sweat so that I could begin to start cutting weight, and then not getting done with that till like 12 o'clock at night. Wow. And so as opposed to having it done early in the day. So yeah, it's a big difference. I like to travel. I like going to different cities, but that part of it definitely, that was like one of the only times I've had that happen so far, luckily, hopefully. And
I hope I didn't jinx you. I really hope I didn't jinx you. But when I saw your face, you're like, oh, someone finally, you were just happy to see anybody that would understand what was happening. So that's not easy. But the other thing, outside of fighting, we kind of talked about that before too. I know what you do for work, but what do you do for work outside of fighting?
So right now I live in towards Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and I work on the beach. We got a big tourist attraction there. So I do beach work, usually chairs during the day or in the morning, and then bonfires in the evening.
That sounds like fun. You just build bonfires out there? You're like a pyromaniac? You like just gas them up? What do you do?
Yeah, so I just set up chairs, set up a bonfire pit, get everybody going, light it up, throw wood on the fire for like 2 hours, and then break it down and pick it all up in the evening. And it's great work, man. I did construction like pretty much my whole life from the time that I was 18 to the time I was 30. And so I like doing this a lot more because I don't have to be up early in the morning and I can make the same amount of money as I work in a normal construction day in like a 4 or 5 hour evening.
So next time we're in Florida by where you're working, we have to have like a BKFC or Bare Knuckle Show bonfire beach party. We got to set that up. That'd be fun, man. Hang out down there on the beach with you.
I can definitely hook it up.
That would be awesome. But I know you coach too. I mean, you coach fighting, which is super helpful because I would imagine, I always say this when people coach fighting, it reinforces stuff maybe that you have maybe got a little sloppy on or forgot about. It forces you to pay attention to that. Is that correct to say?
Yeah, I think that anytime you're a fighter and a coach at the same time, it definitely has benefits. It's really beneficial sometimes, even just when you're throwing combos, you don't really think about it as much as when you're on the other end holding mitts for somebody, basically receiving the combos. And it definitely opens up your eyes to see things, a lot more openings and defense and stuff like that.
And another thing you mentioned to me, aside from just coaching and training and doing that all the time and the bonfire stuff, you mentioned that one of the guys you train actually is autistic, which I can't imagine if that's hard, easy. I can imagine it's rewarding, but talk about that. I mean, is that a big change in trying to help somebody out and get them to understand things that is autistic? I don't know. You've told me about this guy. I don't know if how on the spectrum or off the spectrum he is, but what is that like to train somebody like that? It's got to take a lot of patience, right?
Not really so much. I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit more than the other students, but my buddy Brian, I train in Defuniac Springs. He's awesome. And yeah, he's a really high level functioning on the spectrum. So he doesn't have too many issues. He has coordination issues and different things like that. But once he gets going and he starts learning stuff, he's really good at it, especially like, different combinations and stuff like that, like learning combinations. And once he learns it, he's like really good with it. And yeah, I don't find it super difficult. It's a little more difficult, like maybe like teaching younger students maybe, but he's great to work with.
It's awesome.
And yeah, it's very fulfilling. I like it a lot and it helps him a lot. Everybody that we know that talks to us about it says that he really enjoys it and that it really helps him. Like I said, I think anything that's a combat sport with that kind of autism is like really beneficial for your coordination and balance and different things like that.
That's good to know. And I mean, I don't mean to speak for you, but if you see Noah at a show or you hit him up, and you probably could tell you more about that if maybe you're thinking of making that leap, you have someone in your family or maybe yourself, you're autistic, he could help you out a little bit with that, tell you, how to train and where to train. And I'm sure he would because he's such a nice guy. And the other thing I wonder is you're doing bare knuckle fighting. And I don't think you have any kids. I don't think you're married or anything. So I have to ask you, I mean, I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm older. But even at this age, if I told my mother I was doing bare knuckle fighting, she'd be like, huh? I mean, what do your parents think of that? How do they feel about it? Do they watch the fights?
Yeah. So my parents, they're not really into it. My mom does like it. And
Really?
she'll watch the fights sometimes, but I think like what she does is she puts them on with my stepdad and she'll watch the event, and then when my fight comes on, she kind of like disappears out of the room. And then like coordinates with her husband what's going on, and then if I win, she'll like go in there and go back and watch the fight, and if I lose, then she'll just like she'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't see that part or something like that. And but she's super supportive. She really supports what it is that I do. She's back home right now. She's watching my pit bull for me since I'm gone for 2 weeks out here in Jacksonville. So she's watching my dog for me. So
yeah, I want to talk about that. You just kind of said it yourself. I don't mean to cut you off, but your mom's watching your pit bull. Your mom sounds like an amazing woman. I didn't think you were going to say she was supportive. I thought she was going to be like, gosh, I can't watch it, but that's pretty cool. But you mentioned
Actually, my dad is the one that's that.
You're really, your dad's the one. Really? Does he watch it all?
Yeah. No, my dad does not watch my fights. He doesn't like it or care for it, really.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know what? You're doing what you're doing, and that as you get older, I'm a dad myself. One day, maybe my kid will be doing something I don't like. We'll see what happens. But
it's hard sometimes, you know what I mean? It's hard. Like, I actually recently had a conversation with him because I had to talk to him about getting some financial help in my training camp and stuff. So it's hard to have a parent that doesn't support, but at the same time, like, I kind of was getting a little hung up about it before I came out here on camp. But at the same time, I see a lot of athletes from all different kinds of profession, like football, combat sports, boxing, and a lot of them all say, your family is going to think you're crazy. Your best friends are going to think you're crazy. Everybody's not going to support what it is that you do 100%. But as long as you know what it is that you're doing, then you're fine. And you're going to be taking care of your family. That's
a great way to look at it, man. And let's talk about, so I was kind of jumping off into before when I'm sorry I cut you off about your mom.
No,
you mentioned she's watching your dog because you're away for 2 weeks in Jacksonville. Now, the reason you're in Jacksonville, for the people that don't know that are watching this, you're training with Juggernaut, Lorenzo Hunt, the Juggernaut, who's, in my estimation, one of, if not the best bare knuckle fighters on the planet. He's number 2 ranked pound for pound. There's always an argument for number 1 there. And, we've seen what he's done. What a good guy to be training with. But, I mean, why? How did that come about? Because I know he's trained – I think he trained one of your opponents from back a while ago, Jordan Nash, maybe was it? I think it's his name. And now he's training you. I mean, when you fought Jordan Nash, I got to train with Juggernaut kind of thing, or you just knew? How did this all come about?
No, not really at that time because that was so long ago. I wasn't really thinking about that.
Okay.
That fight with Jordan, I actually just started working with my current coach that was the first fight that we did together with my current coach at my boxing gym. So I wasn't really thinking about it. Obviously, I got a win, and I got a win against one of his students. So I wasn't thinking about going to go train with him.
Yeah,
but over the years,
true, very true.
No disrespect to Jordan or any of them. They're all great fighters, and Juggernaut's a great coach, obviously. But yeah, so I kept going, and then I had mixed, success along the way. Only one more win since Jordan, a few losses. So for this fight camp, I thought that it was important to go and do a fight camp and like get outside of my comfort zone and what it is that I normally do, being at home and being able to drive 30 minutes to the gym or whatever and making up my own schedule, kind of deciding who it is I get to spar. And I leave a lot of that stuff in my coach's hands, so I don't really actually nitpick who it is I get to spar.
Okay.
But just kind of letting go of the reins and letting somebody else control it a little bit more, and especially somebody with a lot of bare knuckle experience, because I just have been, ever since I started, I'm a kickboxer, obviously. MMA fighter is what I used to do, but my very first fight at Toe the Line was the first time I went to a boxing gym, and I trained at a boxing gym for 1 month before that fight.
1 month.
And then I just stayed, 1 month I trained boxing before my first Toe the Line. So when you watch my first Toe the Line fight, I'm very bouncy and kind of like a karate style fighter because I was still learning just hand striking at the time. And so yeah, I just stayed at that gym, which is a great gym, Walker's Boxing Academy in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. And I still like going there, but there's no bare knuckle fighters there, and there's no bare knuckle coaches or anyone who's ever done it besides my coach, who's just watched it, and he has a little bit more of a mind for it because he's seen me do it. So I thought it was super important to go and train with somebody, not only get an official fight camp in, even though it's only 2 weeks. I've been training before I got here. I was exercising before I got here. I'm already in shape. I wasn't fat when I got here. So we have 2 weeks to just hone in on technique and skills, come up with a good game plan, and really train hard. And I think it was really important for me to come and train with someone who has bare knuckle experience. I went and saw Tyler Goodjohn after the last fight. I went and trained with him in Miami for a couple of days, and that was really beneficial. He's got 10 fights in bare knuckle. So Juggernaut, obviously he's a multiple time champion. Yeah. He's got a good mind and a good eye and tons of experience in the sport. So I think I definitely made the right decision to come train with him.
Dude, I think so too. And I've seen him, the way he breaks things down, even a guy like me that has never had a professional fight, he makes me understand things easier. I think one day he could be an excellent announcer, commentator, and like that, because he just makes you understand things in a different way. That's my experience with him. I think you're in a very good spot. I love that you're picking from Tyler, Lorenzo. I can't wait to see how you've developed even more as a fighter. Like I said, I've loved watching your fights for many years. Thank you for the fights you've given us. They've been great. Someone in the chat was like, a guaranteed KO, either, this is not, I guess it's a kind of a compliment. They're saying your fights are always entertaining. Either whether you get KO'd or you KO somebody, they love your fights. They just enjoy watching you in there because you've got such fighting spirit. And then the other thing I want to ask you is it's just simple, straightforward. Donald Sanchez, you're walking into his hometown. They're going to be 100% for him. Does that play on your mind? Does that ever bother you? Does that help you? Do you not hear it? Where are you at with all that? I always like to find that out.
Yeah, no, so I just answered this question when we did the interviews yesterday. Like, I'm so used to fighting in people's backyards. Even before I started bare knuckle, I was a regional MMA fighter. And so I was always fighting like the best guys in the organization in the region. So, and every BKFC fight I've done, even when I fought in Florida, the 2 fights that I've done in Florida, which is where I live in Northwest Florida, which there's not really, we need to see about getting an event out there at like Pensacola Bay Center or something, but there's not really, the closest I think to where I live event wise is Biloxi, is like 3 hours away. Mm-hmm. So even when I fought in Florida, I fought here in Jacksonville before, and I fought, or was that in Tampa? I can't remember if it was Jacksonville or Tampa. When I fought Jordan Nash, that was kind of more like his backyard, closer to his hometown than mine. And I fought Francesco Ricci in Miami, which obviously Francesco is from Miami and I'm from Northwest Florida. So I'm just so used to going into people's backyards, so to say, that I don't even think about it anymore. And like, it's kind of nice because it relinquishes a lot of pressure. Like, I feel like it relinquishes a lot of pressure for me because, like you said, like, yeah, I'm not really, you know, I don't have a lot of fans going into Albuquerque, New Mexico, except for maybe the couple of people that follow me on Instagram from that region that I've made fans through my fighting. But when I don't have the pressure like that, I feel like the other person has all the pressure on their shoulders, and it gives me the ability to kind of like press that pressure on them a little bit more. So like, there's no pressure for me going into it. And I kind of like the idea of like, I can be kind of an asshole because I don't have to fucking worry about making fans. It's not like I'm going to, you know, it's like almost a lose-lose situation sort of doing it, because it's like, I can go out there and put on a good fight and people are going to appreciate that. But obviously they want to see you lose so that their hometown guy wins. And then if you fucking knock him out or beat him, then they're not going to be your fan because they're going to be like, oh, you beat our guy. So,
oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. Rocky IV. Remember Rocky IV?
Yeah, well, listen, if I can turn the crowd in Albuquerque like Rocky did in Russia around after I beat Donald Sanchez, then it would be something.
It would be something. I just want to tell you before I let you cut you loose here, bowls, beers, and brawls, I'm always tuning in for a Noah Cutter scrap, he's saying. Chris is saying you always go for it. They're coming across well. They're enjoying your interview, but they're all excited for your fight. They're saying basically the same thing I said to you a couple minutes ago. So before we let you go, last question, why will you beat Donald Sanchez?
I feel like I'm going to beat Donald Sanchez because I'm the better fighter. Like, I watched his last fight against a common opponent, and I feel like, you know, they're at altitude, so that makes a little bit of a difference. But I feel like just doing the MMA math, watching his performance compared to my performance, like, we're a lot different style of fighter. I've fought style fighters like him before, and I've got the experience. But even with the experience, I already thought I was going to beat him, but then piling on top of the camp, on top of that, 2 weeks here with Juggernaut, I definitely feel like that is going to also help me secure the win. And then also, like I said, in between training with Juggernaut, learning new things from Tyler Goodjohn, I feel like this being my 10th bare knuckle fight, that I want this to be my best performance out of all of my other fights so far and show my evolution in the sport. So 10 fights 3 years later, I want this to be my best performance, and I think that it will be.
All right. Well, we're excited to see where your performance is going to be. We know it's going to be a great fight. We've said that. They're saying it in the chat. We appreciate you coming on. Big fight coming up for prospects in Albuquerque. We'll find out more about that. You can find out more about it at bkfc.com. Download that app. Tickets are pretty much sold out. They're right there, so get your tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, the BKFC vet, a fighter that you all love, Noah Cutter. Thanks for coming on, and can't wait to watch you fight, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I watch the show all the time, so it's great to be on.
Well, it's an honor to have you on. We love what you've done for the organization. So you're the man, Noah Cutter. Ladies and gentlemen, I always do this. I'll be the only one to clap. I'm the only one here, but I'll clap for you. Noah Cutter. Noah Cutter. Thank you, brother. Be good. Wow, there he goes. Noah Cutter. He's motivated. He's ready for his 10th BKFC fight. Like we said, not many people get 10 fights this quickly. What's he said in 3 years? So you seem to like him in the chat. We're excited. Chris says he's Team Cutter. Wesley Killiger says we're cheering for you. You're going to win. All right, let's talk about some other stuff that's on the docket here. Brian Durant. Brian Durant continues his unique training. This guy, we've seen him punching hammers, get hit with boards. Well, this is his latest unique training as he heads into his fight February 2nd in Hollywood against Luis Lopez.
February 2nd, I'm putting somebody to sleep. 2 things you don't do. Do not speak on a man's religion, and you do not speak on somebody's family. And I'm gonna make sure he understands that and he learns that. I'm fighting with a bigger purpose. I'm going in there willing to die for everything I believe in, which is my God and my family. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ever play with those 2 things with a man, especially when you know you gotta see him. All right?
All right, man. A couple observations from that video there. One, I don't know what Luis Lopez said, but does anybody know? I didn't hear anything. He must have said something that pissed him off. Do you hear any rumblings in there? Or maybe the chat let us know. Evan, Brandon, do you know?
Nope.
I don't know either. But I do know that training's unique, and I wouldn't do it. But hey, those fists, I won't want to get hit by them. I believe that Evan does do that before he films to get his hands ready. Is that what you do before you film?
What?
Let's move on. Rambo. It's great when people come and just fucking go off into La La Land when they're on a live show. It's wonderful. Thanks for coming in today, buddy. All right, I won't go to you anymore, prick. All right, Rambo IG shit talk. Let's do that. Let's just go to that.
That's about me.
That's good.
Just blackness.
Put it blackness. There you go. Make it. He's cutting camera. You're so stupid. All right, so let's look at Rambo Russo. Rambo Russo has a fight coming up also in Hollywood. A lot of people talking about this one as well. I'm excited to see what he's going to do against Justin Street. And this is basically the shit talking he's been doing. He's making these memes. I respect this. He's trying to have some fun with the fight. Here's the first one. We can take a look at it from Rambo Russo's Instagram. Just kind of first day of school for his son, Streets, and he did. I respect that because it probably took him a while to do. So he's kind of feeding him a little bit. Let's see what else he said. What's this one? Oh, GTA in real life. If y'all don't miss the events, there you go. He took a Grand Theft Auto thing and he made him his bitch, it looks like. Is there a bra on that dog, or is that just I don't know. But there you go. That my man Brandon, are you more excited about this graphic or the GTA launch? Because I think you drew wood when you were talking about the GTA launch, the new one coming. You're very excited about that, right?
Yep.
All right, you guys suck. Fuck you both. I don't know if you're performing for Evan or what you're doing. If you're both gonna be miserable fucks, turn your fucking mics off and shut up. All right? Simple.
I answered your question.
Let's move on. We have disinterested jerk-offs that work here. I don't know why they even come in. I mean, it's snowing. They drive in and risk life and limb to come in. Then they go, Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, Angry Brian's right, because I have cocksuckers that don't work hard. Well, they work hard. That's a lie. You do work hard. I won't take that away from you. Keep it black. It's better looking that way. All right. So let's go. Justin Streets. I'm pretty much done with this shit today. You guys want to end the show? Because I'll be done with it if you guys want to be done with it. Seriously, I'm missing time with my children to come in here. End it. Fucking be done with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Brandon. You can blame Evan. This show is now done.
February 2nd, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is finally back in Hollywood, Florida, at Hard Rock Live inside the seminal Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. In the main event, a world title is on the line when the undefeated champ, Luis Baboon Palomino, knuckles up with former pro boxing world champion, Austin No Doubt Trout. In the co-main event, it's a clash of the undefeated warriors when...
You're fucking... Yeah. We have the mics on now. Are we back? Because I'll leave again. I will leave again, and there will be no show. Actually, it might make a lot of you pretty happy. Sad. Look, they're saying sad. Roar. What the fuck? That got him talking in the chat, though. Get bucked up and knuckle up. I got him talking.
We had to rough Brian up when it was off screen a little bit.
They did.
I couldn't see it.
You didn't see it. Dave
Big,
Feldman
tough
actually
guy.
came back down here, and he pushed me back in the studio, so I couldn't
Sit down.
I'm back. All right, where were we at? I tried to get tough. I'm not a good tough guy. I don't like being tough. Fook! Chris is from England. Fook! What happened? Are they back? Look, the chat's so confused. So, Rambo Russo, we're excited to see what you're doing. I don't know where we left off. I do know that Justin Street is a guy that I was looking into him. I didn't know a lot about him. Pro MMA record, 4-7-0, an amateur MMA record, 7-2-0. Justin the Nightmare Street. He fights out of Michigan, and he spent some time in the regional MMA scene. Guy, before going pro, he was, like you said, 7-2, and he's looking to drop the gloves, he says, and focus on what he does best, swinging hammers and looking to knock his opponent's head off. We'll see if he can do that with Rambo Russo. We're excited to see what Justin Street has as we do this youth movement here in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. Big Ben saying, successful Brandon defused the event. Great intermission, Brian Maxwell saying. Wesley Killigan loves it when we do dumb shit like that. Well, good. I'm glad you like the pain.
All right, what was your question before?
I don't remember now. I've moved on. Don't drag the show backwards. You're going to be unsuccessful.
Oh.
Don't drag the show backwards now. If you don't want to talk, I don't remember my question. Oh, you had a boner. That's what I was saying. You drew wood for Grand Theft Auto. I was trying to feed you something you're interested in so you guys would care. So
we don't appreciate your sexual innuendos, bro.
He did. Evan, he drew wood. Show. Evan, he drew wood for that. You know that GTA
what does
trailer.
That mean?
That means he had a boner. I told you. He drew wood.
Oh shit.
So
he show.
Yeah. We're gonna get kicked off.
What's wrong with saying that? We showed a woman getting her breasts banged up down earlier. We're not gonna get kicked off.
That looks like a medical exam.
Don't forget what else we showed.
What else did we show? You guys are stupid. All right. The question was, you were excited about the GTA trailer. I know a lot of our audience was too. And by the way, I think Vaughn Design Team did a GTA logo graphic for the Hollywood Hard Rock show. And I think it was great. But you were very excited about that. Why were you so excited about Grand Theft Auto? You get to pick up hookers again? And
No. It's a great game. I've played it my whole life, and it's been 10 years since, we're going to be more than 10 years till this next one, and it just looks great. I mean, you saw the trailer. It was
cool.
It's like a next gen everything.
I want to try to contact them to get some BKFC fighters in there. I think that as they're designing, we should. I mean, it's in Miami. I could see that. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, that was the moment we were all waiting for. Thank you for that great answer.
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you for caring. All right, so the other thing we have to talk about here is, can we see that again? I missed it. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving again. All right. A lot of people talk about Mick Terrell, and I wonder what Big Ben Rothwell thinks of this. Mick Terrell and, Mark Hunt. So that's a fight that I know people have been talking about. I've been seeing online. We haven't signed him. I don't think we're going to sign. I don't know if we are. I don't know. I shouldn't talk out of school. I don't know anything. But he's a little older than I think we'd want. But, I mean, would that be a fun fight? Him and Mick Terrell, they've been going back and forth. I know we've had some stuff from social media that was up there that Mick was sharing. He's basically throwing darts at Mick's face. So there you go. Mick's excited. I think Mick wants to see. He wants the fight. Lou Fuse, this guy's cool. He's from the UK. We carry him on the app. He was recently speaking to Mark, and you'll see what happened. Mick Terrell joined in real quick. Let's watch that. Thank you for this, Lou.
Sound up.
We'll see how it goes if it comes to fruition. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, respect for being the champ, but like I said, I don't know if he's up to par. To be honest,
Yeah, well, I know Mick quite well actually. I could actually bring him on the podcast now if you want to exchange a few words with him.
Yeah, why not, man? have a bit of a chat. Why not?
You know, in the chat, it's like I've set you up here, but here he is, the BKFC heavyweight champion, Mr. Mick Terrell. What's happening, bro?
Not much, mate. How's it going, boys?
Big Mick, how you going, bro? I'm a fighter, bro. I'll come to your backyard, man. I'll go anywhere. I'll go anywhere this guy. We can go out in the car park, bro. I don't give a damn. Like I said, as a kid growing up, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. But God put me to fight. This is why I'm here. So whether it be in the backyard, in the swimming pool, empty swimming, whatever, in England, man, I'd love to come there.
Dave, if you're listening, this is the fight I think I want and everybody wants. Just try and get this fight over the line. This is what everyone wants.
So we'll be talking, Dave. It's all about numbers. Let's keep this show on the road, and let's get this thing happening in London, bro. England, wherever, bro. Doesn't matter for me. Let's do it.
I like a holiday, me. I don't mind going away.
Let's do it, my bro. Anywhere. Let's do it. When you're listening, this is Dave Fallon. Let's do it.
Well, there you go. I mean, if Dave's listening, they want to do it, obviously. I don't know if the fans want to see it. It seems like I saw some online did. Some are questioning it. Like I said, I think Big Ben Rothwell would have something to say about that. We have to find out where he's at with that. Mark Hunt, though, a legend. I mean, is that something that you see happening? Am I allowed to go to you guys again? Are you going to answer me or no? I'm afraid to.
Yeah, since you were so upset last time, I guess I'll appease you. It doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I'm not to get an immediate title shot anyway. I'd say, come on in and work your way up.
Yeah.
I really want to keep give some legitimacy to the rankings and see the, people outside of the rankings fight the top, whatever number 5, and then get into the rankings and work their way up. I don't like just
the rankings, though, man. They're a whole other ball game. These rankings.
Yeah, but you have to abide by them to give them some.
But it's like some of these rankings. What
some of them are terrible.
Yeah,
but they'll work themselves out. I think.
I hope so, man. Well, that's a fight that it doesn't do much for me either, but they seem to both want it. We'll keep you updated on that so we find out any more. I thought that was interesting. Another thing that you can always check BKFC.com for all the latest news. There's some great stuff up there, like Robbie Peralta's trying to derail the Bryce hype train. That's up there. You can check that out. And I mean, do you think that's something Robbie's going to be able to do? Because I don't know. I don't know if Robbie can derail the Bryce hype train. I don't know if anyone can derail the Bryce hype train right now. I don't even know if it's a hype train. It's real. It's no hype. It's the real thing. I mean, part of our youth movement, I'd say he's probably one of the most talented young fighters we have now that we're going to watch rise through the ranks. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Again, I'll go to Evan. Evan watches this stuff way more than I do even. Do you feel that's fair to say? I mean, I don't know. Robbie Peralta's a hard fighter, but Bryce is just on fire.
Yeah, Bryce is on fire. What do you want my opinion on it?
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, can Robbie Peralta do it? I don't think anyone can right now.
No, I mean, but not a lot of people thought Robbie would walk through Martin Brown either.
That is true.
So, he's tough. He's a tough roadblock in the way for sure.
That's why it's a good fight.
And he's undefeated. Isn't he 3-0? He's undefeated.
Yeah, he's still undefeated.
But I agree, Bryce has a lot of steam behind him, so it's a good challenge for sure.
No, I agree. So we're looking forward to that fight and so many other fights. Also on the website, Christine Vissens, she is another one that we can't wait to see fight. And this is amazing. I mean, we've talked about this with Jenny Savage last week. We talked about it with Taylor Starling, who they're also fighting in Albuquerque. Can't wait for that. You know that. But balancing your motherhood, your business, your fighting career, everything, that's a great read. Check it out. I can barely balance shoveling snow before I come in and having kids. So I don't even know where I would be if I had to be a pro fighter too. I'd be on the ground knocked out. Check that out as well. I see Big Ben saying Peralta better come with a game plan. Of course he should. I mean, against anybody, but especially a guy like Bryce. And the third article that I thought was interesting, and this is for a couple reasons. We had Jenny Savage on here last week. Jenny Savage is ready to retire Taylor Starling. I mean, she was going in on her, basically just letting her know. If you read the article, she wasn't as nice as she was in the interview last week here. And Evan, you and I have talked about this. I think successful Brandon has as well. What is the deal with this? I feel like people come on the Bare Knuckle show and they're all polite and nice, even though I tell them ahead of time, you don't have to be. You can be whoever you want to be, say what you want to say. But then she goes into an article and she's a little more forthcoming with her opinions. I mean, do you think they're a little bit of fear because they think the show is owned by Bare Knuckle? And
they're scared if they don't say the right thing, you're going to start yelling at them and walk off the show.
You're such a jerk off. You're such a jerk off.
It's state-run media, man.
Yeah,
what do you want? This is like, doing an interview with the boss's office.
Yeah, but they're doing the same interview for the website, too. So I just implore fighters, for the fans, I think that they're going to understand this as well. Just when you come on here, I tell you, be open. Say what you want. Nobody's going to get mad at you. We want that. We're looking for that. Don't feel like you have to straighten up and fly right kind of thing. You don't. Just be who you are. That's what we like. It says Bryce is the same animal but a different beast, someone's saying here. Oh, it's Swervo Cut saying that. So I'm excited to see where these cards go. They're going to be great. And also coming up, you know, we had I had notes for this. Where did I put them? We had a very successful tryout. I have my notes right here because I got some intel. I was on a meeting and they were talking about it. So I wrote it down for you guys. I think this is it. So here's my intel from tryouts. Apparently, these past tryouts we just did in was Virginia. Was it Sterling, Virginia? Yeah, Sterling, Virginia. Apparently, over 30 people showed up. And Nate Shook was saying 10 minutes before sign-in, there was like 5 or 6 people there. And he's like, oh, my gosh, what's going on here? He couldn't believe it. But then he went to the back and came back out, and boom, it was just packed with people. Chris Lytle saying the fighters killed it. They were great fighters. He thinks it's going to be one of the best episodes we've done. Pressure's on the production team for that. I'm sure they've got great content. And apparently there's a guy, I think his name was Sean Brooks. I don't know if we're going to feature this, but I want to say it. He's been to 3 tryouts, his 3rd tryout, and I think he was on his way in a U-Haul or something, and it broke down. I might be getting stories mixed up, but I think that just shows how committed these fighters are to make it onto the BKFC show, the Prospects series, everything like that. I think that's super cool, and I think he should be talked about for that. Sean Brooks, man, hopefully we see more in the future, but there'll be a lot more coming up when the tryout show comes up. BKFC.com. I believe it's going to be on Fubo. You can grab the app too for the stuff you want. It's all there. Make sure you're following it. I think we had from that last tryouts in Sterling, we had Dustin Pegg's gym. I believe that's where we did it at. So we had a little bit of kind of, there it is. There's the crew together. They were very excited to host it. We want to thank Dustin Pegg for hosting it. It seemed like a very successful event. I can't wait to see what fruit we bear, for lack of a better term, from it. Here, this just shows you a little bit behind the scenes. They're sitting there judging people. This is about all we have right there. There's Nate, Lytle, Dustin, and there you go. Well, thank you again, Dustin Pegg, for letting us use your gym. We appreciate it. And the next tryout coming up, we're going to head to Hollywood, California. And this is huge because we're going to break into California very soon. We're now legal there. So come on out to our next tryout. North Hollywood, California. That's this Saturday, January 20th. You can be there, bkfc.com/tryouts. Of course, sign up starting at noon. That's at Brickhouse Boxing Academy. If you're listening on audio, go to bkfc.com/tryouts. Get your name in there. And like you said, this could be your big chance. I think you should get involved. Lytle always says it. And then we have a lot of other great cards coming up. We can go through them. You can check them on the website, bkfc.com. Of course, first things first, we've been talking about Albuquerque Prospect Series. That's a loaded card. If you don't know the card, again, bkfc.com is your friend. You got the hometown boy Sanchez, who's 1-1, fighting against Cutter, who we just spoke to. And then you got Palomino versus Trout on top in Hollywood, BKFC 57. That card is on fire. We're going to get some more people on hopefully next week from that card. That, I think, has potential to be one of the best cards we've ever put on. It's going to be amazing. Then from February 2nd, we move on, and we just keep it rolling in Manassas. We had trouble with the pronunciation last week. Manassas, not Manassas, Manassas, Virginia. That's going to be another amazing fight. You got Grosjean and you got Shavers. I love the Shredder. What a great nickname. And Grosjean, from what I understand, lives in that area now, so he's going to kind of be the one with the crowd behind him. But Shavers, no joke. Glad to see him back as well. All this is going to continue on from February 16th. I believe that's right outside Washington, D.C., if you're in that area, about 30 miles from Washington, D.C. We move on to the next one. A lot of them, they're all up at bkfc.com. The next fight, there's the Manassas sound effect. I was waiting for it. Thank you for getting that. I thought you guys forgot. Then we make our debut in Canada, Edmonton. And you got Randall versus Gibson, hometown boy. You can see it. Hometown boy. Canada is where he's from, and they're definitely going to be behind him. And that's going to be another fun fight to watch as we go over to see what Canada has to offer. I'm excited for that, March 2nd. And then from there, we have a lot more events. We just announced this. We broke the news last week on the Bare Knuckle Show about this. We're going back to Bulgaria, where we had like 12,000 people last time. It was insane. I think the president was there. There's going to be more. It's going to grow every time we're there. March 22nd. Not going to try to say their names. I leave that to Sean Wheelock. I just know they can fight like no other. So we're very excited about that. BKFC.com. You can go there and get involved with all of this. So much more great stuff we have to announce. So much more great stuff coming up. I think that's all we have for today, though. And I appreciate you joining us. I really do. Wherever you're at, we hope hopefully you're warm, because it's not warm here. And hopefully you don't have to shovel any snow. I'm out of here. Until next week, thank you so much. Remember, get bucked up, and knuckle up! End the show. Come on, guys, let's go. We're done, right? We have to have a little talk, me and you. Little talk. Got a little talk, me and you. Little talk.
Friday night, February 2nd, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is finally back in Hollywood, Florida, at Hard Rock Live inside the seminal Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. In the main event, a world title is on the line when the undefeated champ, Luis Baboon Palomino, knuckles up with former pro boxing world champion, Austin No Doubt Trout. In the co-main event, it's a clash of the undefeated warriors when Bryce Henry fights Robbie Peralta. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.